Welcome back to Sweet Cards, dude. I'm your host, Brent, and today we are joined by local legend HTX Nerd.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for joining us tonight. So, how have you been?
Good, man. Good. Busy. Busy's always good, though, right? It beats the alternative. So, been busy. It's been a great day for Houston sports, right? That was an awesome drop. So saved us from doom and gloom with the Astros and the Rockets. So, yeah, man, it's been a fun day so far for me.
Man, yeah, the news of Stefon Diggs, that's big. My son came home and he's like, Dad, did you hear what's going on? And I was like, yeah. I mean, it's crazy too because they didn't mess up any of their picks for this year. I don't think, did they? Did they?
Oh,
Yeah, and so
yeah.
it's pretty good deal the way that it worked out. We weren't able to get him kind of in that free agency whenever everybody was kind of looking at him and stuff like that. And so now it's great news we got some weapons now for CJ. I mean, think about Tank Dell and Nico and Stefon Diggs.
Man. Oh man, yeah, man. I got so excited I had to go add him on Madden, man. You can check it out on the page. It's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be crazy. When we talk about weapons, right? We talk about what he brings to the table. To me, I was more proud of the trade because we're also taking on a guy who isn't a choir boy, right?
Yeah.
In past years, his franchise has made, free agent signings. They were great guys. They were great community guys, never had any baggage, right? And then they didn't make it to their second year in our contract. We got a guy that we know is a bona fide baller. He's a stud. He's had issues. You can say he's had character issues. You can say whatever you want to say. But this isn't a typical Texans signing, right? It's not a safe guarantee signing. He's not one of the J.J. Watt-esque guys, right?
Yeah.
He's got some background issues, and they ignored it, and they pulled the trigger to go get a football player. And I think that is huge for this franchise. It speaks a lot about where our locker room is, where our franchise is. And I think if you're a Texan fan, this is the kind of move, that you've been waiting for.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, dude. Totally agree. That's I don't know. It's exciting, being a Texans fan for so long through all those years. We had some good years when we had JJ around and stuff like that. But I mean, we had a lot of tough years. I mean, a lot of tough years for a very long time now. And so it's good to have Miko back and have him kind of leading the charge and then to all these offseason pickups that we've had and even some of the people we had to let go. I mean, it is what it is, but like I don't know, it's really, really exciting going into the summer and then into the football season. I mean, it'll be here before you know. We're gonna blink our eyes and boom, it'll be at the watching the Hall of Fame game and watching CJ.
Yeah, man,
throwing a freaking laser beam to Stefon in the corner.
Absolutely.
So,
that's even more exciting. You bring up the Hall of Fame game, and that means our training camp starts earlier than everyone else. So we don't have to wait till August. We're smack dab middle of July. They're going to start. Their training camp starts early. So that'll give media and everybody else a chance, fans, to see them earlier than we normally would. So I think that was an awesome decision by the front office to accept that invite. To keep this ball rolling of excitement and momentum. It's going to be.
Do you think that with all the hype and the buzz that there's a chance that we'll be on the HBO's I forget what the name of their show is.
Hard Knocks. Yeah. So they're new. They're picking 4 teams. They're trying to pick a division for the end season. So they want to go 4 teams to kind of spread their market. So you're not following just one team. Are we the most attractive? Probably not, but we're probably the most intrigued just because all the young talent, all the different ways it can go. I definitely think CJ Stroud hopped on the scene and put the Texans on the map. I wouldn't be surprised if from a production standpoint, with D'Amico Ryans here, now you have Stefon Diggs, you have that A1 character that's going to give you great stuff, week in, week out. You never know what that guy's going to say. From entertainment value, man, I think we look great. Houston's a great city. There's a lot of things for them to follow. So, I mean, to me personally, I think we're great, but obviously, I'm a biased opinion on that. It'd be fun to
Yeah.
watch. But you got to think about the storylines too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of storylines with this team. There's a lot of big names that chose to leave their team to come here, and I think there's a story behind that. How we went from free agent don't touch to
Yep.
one of the hottest teams on the market. Guys like Saquon, we're their first option. But we have a GM who's smart, not overpaying for guys, and he tells you this is the limit, that's the limit.
Yep.
But I mean, you look at what we signed. Back to what you said earlier, we brought in some big names. We brought in some game changer names at the free agency level, and this is just that final stamp on it. I don't think they're done. I don't think they're done by any means, but I think when you get a guy like Stefon Diggs in a trade, which guarantees he's coming to you, and like I said, man, it's a big step forward, and it's exciting, and I really hope that'd be awesome to see Hard Knocks.
Yeah. It'd be cool.
I was working media. I was in media when Hard Knocks came here when we had JJ.
Mm-hmm.
And that training camp was insane with the amount of crews and camera crews that it takes to put that show together.
Yeah.
What
was the guy that he was like he ended up being like one of the best like characters for the Texans during Hard Knocks.
Charles James, I think.
I think that is his name. Yeah, Charles James. Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he always wore the crazy socks. I remember that.
Yeah, crazy socks. Yeah, and that's the cool part about it, man. You get to find guys like that, right? He probably made the roster. I'm not trying to talk down on him, but I think because he was such a fan favorite, I think that helped him make the roster. And then when he does that kickoff return in the Saints game, that was just awesome B-roll for the whole thing. So, you start rooting for guys. You watch Hard Knocks, you start falling in love with all these no-name underdog guys, and they crush your spirit like Game of Thrones when they get cut at the end, right? So, I mean, the entertainment factor is awesome, man, and it would be awesome for the city to get that chance again. So I really hope they pick this, man, but we'll see.
Yep, it'll be cool. So I had a few questions for you. Who or what is HTX Nerd? So where does the HTX Nerd come from?
So Houston, Texas Nerd is just it's an all-inclusive thing, right? So I love sports, I love gaming, video games, tabletop games, card games, board games, comic book stuff, Marvel stuff, right? I love all that, and growing up in the 90s, I get that sense of just nostalgia when something gets remade, right? Like X-Men 97 getting remade, all those old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, like all that kind of cool stuff for me takes me back, right? And I have a baby of my own now, and I want to show her all the classic stuff we grew up with. So it's really cool to kind of see that it's all coming back. So HTX Nerd is just about having, good vibes with good people, being yourself, being who you want to be. I absolutely love the card community. One of my first loves was collecting sports cards, football, baseball, basketball. And that adrenaline you got opening a pack, right? Here I am, old enough now, 35 years of age, and the cool part about HTX Nerd is now I have adult money to buy stuff I couldn't buy when I was a kid, right? You have that same rush, that same energy now, even as an adult, when you're opening that pack, with that chance to pull that rare, that showcase. And that's just what it's about. It's just a good time, man. It's just a good vibe page, bro. That's all it really is, man. It's just hanging out with good people, having good conversations, with all the communities, to be honest with you, sports cards, gaming. I'm just here for it all, to be honest with you.
Cool, man. Good. That's good stuff. So did you play any sports growing up?
Yeah. I played a little bit of basketball, realized that wasn't in my future, and stuck with football all the way through to high school. And that was, that also too, just the love of football, that's where it stuck with me to this day right now on this show right now. That's my first love, baseball. I didn't play on a team baseball, but we used to play in the neighborhood a lot, sandlot style. I love baseball. got to watch my cousin play baseball a few times. That was fun to watch. Just grew up as a Houston fan, an Oiler fan, an Astro fan, a Rocket fan, a Comets fan, right, an Arrows fan.
Oh man,
Just been a fan of sports my whole life, but played football the longest, all the way up through high school, into high school senior year, and then it was over for me.
so
My
what do you think? What do you think piqued your interest into sports? Like early
I
on.
could tell you right now. So my uncle used to be a Houston Oilers season ticket fan, season ticket guy. So um, he was in the Astrodome, 50-yard line. Love you Blue Days. And I remember just going to an Oiler game. He couldn't go. My dad, my mom took me, and I just remember falling in love, hearing the Houston Oiler chant. Just being a part of the atmosphere. It was amazing, man. In the Earl Campbell days, Warren Moon, Ernest Givens, watching those guys in the Astrodome, and then being able to watch the Astros compete in the same place.
Yep.
Being a part of those Rocket championships, following them back to back, all that, man. All H-Town, that's where the HTX comes from.
Yep.
I'm a homer. I can't help myself. There's some other teams outside of Houston. I get that, right? But my heart's here, man, and that's where it started for me, was in the Astrodome in the Love You Blue era.
Man, that's awesome. So do you think that just that overall interest in sports is kind of what got you into the sports card, kind of collecting sports cards as well too?
Oh yeah.
Or was there someone in your family that collected things and you kind of picked up the habit from them or anything like that? Or
So no, I would say me and my cousin, my older cousin, we were all in the same sports. We were all like, our family was pretty close knit, and it became it almost became an obsession at one point, where we would go to Target or Walmart or Kmart, back in the day, Kmart.
Oh yeah.
We'd go through the toy aisle, but we want to go to the cards, pick up the cards, and it was just, man, I really hope I get said player, right?
Oh yeah.
He was more into baseball, I was more into football, but we would, always kind of trade with each other and see what we got. And it was just that's what got us into cards, to be honest with you. And then it just started growing and growing and growing. And then, eventually I kind of pulled away from the cards and went more gaming. But that was crazy. That was a crazy time for sure. Was just that like I said, that rush of opening that pack, hoping to get your favorite player.
Oh man, it's the best. Like I haven't ripped anything in a while, and so I've been like kind of itching. I have a couple boxes that I've been sitting on. And I'm like, man, I'm just gonna rip these open, but I haven't done it yet. So I know, like a lot of us, as we've gotten older, a lot of people have kind of moved away from like their hobbies and collecting things and stuff like that. And so I know that I've gotten back into it pretty heavily over the last probably 6 to 8 months or so. But what do you think brought you back into into the hobby and wanting to collect cards? I know I see a lot of your content, and if you're not following HTX Nerd, just be sure to follow him on Instagram. Do you have any other socials?
Nah,
right
man,
now?
that's the main page. Yeah,
just Instagram right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, be sure to give him a follow. He's posting some really cool content on some of the Star Wars trading card games, and then just I don't know, a lot of other cool things. But so right now for you, what is like the trading card game that you like are into or playing, or what's what's thing? I don't know anything really about.
Yeah, no, good
TCG
question, man. Right now for me, I recently got into Magic the Gathering through my in-laws. They were like, look, all you got to do is, it's such a huge universe. You just got to find something that, that they are making cards about. And at that particular point in time, I was really into painting minifigures for Warhammer, right? I haven't played Warhammer, never done it, but for some reason, painting the minifigures just relaxed me, zen me out, like just all the rest of the stress gone. So I was into that for a little bit. And so Magic the Gathering made a Warhammer deck. And I was like, oh my, that's super cool. So I picked up, they've been playing Magic for 15, 16 years, taught me how to play, fell in love with it, and started getting back into collecting, because it's a card game, right? It's a card driven mythic kind of game, like magical stuff. So it was really cool, man, to see that it was such a huge, diverse universe, right? And the community is so diverse and so cool. Everybody's so chill, eager to help you out. And it was really cool to get back in that way. And then recently, Star Wars Unlimited came out. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Card game again, and it's starting to pick up steam like really fast now. So, that kind of got me. We got a starter deck, and I think the starter deck that I bought at a card shop for $20 is now like 50 or $60 now
for the deck, for the whole deck.
And I think a part of the addiction too is the first time ever I'm sitting at a local shop, which is a really cool place to go if you guys get a chance to check out. It's called Coral Sword. I sat down, first night ever playing Magic, opened up one pack that I bought for like $5 and pulled an $80 card out. So it was just like, whoa, everybody at the table freaked out. I had no clue really what I had in my hand at the time, right? And everybody was freaking out, telling me to put that card in the sleeve. So I was like, okay, cool. And then that old addiction, right, from like we talked about, like the rush of opening a pack. Like, okay, awesome. And then so fast forward.
So like with Magic the Gathering, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but with Magic the Gathering, is it more collecting or is it part of the game? You need certain cards in order to kind of have the best hand, but people do collect and people do flip these cards and stuff like that just because there is the collectability.
Absolutely. I know you guys, do y'all's rips and y'all do y'all's breaks. Whatnot is huge. There's a lot of people on Whatnot that make some really cool content that will open packs pretty much similar to that. That's cool. Selling singles as well. TCG Player is a huge, basically eBay for any kind of card you can think of that's dealt with in a game. There's people that will go buy Magic cards just for the collector aspect, trying to find the rares and sell them and flip them. But yes, it takes a pretty good amount of cards to play the commander section of the game. You need to have quite a few cards in your deck, and you build your deck however you want to, right? It's basically color based. So you can only have certain colors depending on your commander, how many colors they have. And you're looking at 100 cards in that deck. So you're building it with about 30, 40 lands, depending on what you want to do. Lands allow you to play creatures, and the rest are creatures, spells, whatever you want to do. So you customize your deck completely how you want to do it. And then, you go play somebody else, and it's a lot of fun, man. And like I said, so far, since I've entered the Magic community, I've not met a single person yet who was, rude or just trolling or whatever. Like everybody's been super cool. There's a lot of rules to it. So everybody's super cool. If they know you haven't played in a lot, you're new, they're more willing to help you and kind of slow the game down. It's been really cool, man. And the same with the Star Wars. A lot of people that are playing Magic are now getting into the Star Wars game. And it's the same thing with that community as well. I mean, everybody's just hyped for it. But to answer your question, I buy cards to build decks and play, but also like I'm starting to check the prices on some of them. If I feel like if it's a good card or if it looks like it's rare, I'll check the price. Yeah. If it's a $15 card, it doesn't go on the deck. We'll find something else to do.
Yeah.
But there's a huge, Collecticons coming up this weekend.
Are you gonna check it out?
Oh yeah, man, I'll be down there. I'm definitely gonna check it out. They're gonna have some pretty cool guests. The guy that played Darth Maul in Star Wars, he's gonna be out there taking pictures, signing autographs. They're gonna have all kind of stuff, sports cards to anime. Everybody's
I'm interested. I'm an avid Gary Vaynerchuk follower, and so the V Friends I think are going to be there, and so I don't know if Gary's going to be there or not, but I know that he was at a Collecticon I think in Atlantic City a few weeks back. But the V Friends game, I don't know if you've heard of that before, but it's a trading card game, and like they have kind of that same kind of people. There's people that collect them, there's people that you play them for the game, but then there's also like there was like a series 1 that came out, and it was like limited to I don't don't remember how many decks there were that were out there, but it wasn't very many. And so like those cards are like really sought after. So I'm maybe interested in maybe getting a pack or just looking at those cards. I've seen some in cases before, but I haven't like seen them. And I think a company named Zero Cool is the one who produced the cards.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's something that I was kind of interested in, and also to go check out the sports cards. But
oh yeah, man, and that's the cool part about it. Like I've never been to a Collecticon, but when I started looking them up, I mean, it's in the name. If it's collectible, it's going to be there. Funko Pops, baseball, football, basketball cards, all the athlete pops, all the anime pops, comic stuff, all going to be there under one roof. You can buy, sell, or trade with the people at their table. Like apparently, you know, some people don't allow that to happen if you don't have a booth. But this particular one is going to let you kind of walk around and talk and trade and you know sell if you want to with vendors. So that's going to be cool too.
Yeah.
Looking to unload a couple cards there, maybe trade or sell. And yeah, man, it's just like I said, it's going to be a good time. I feel like it's going to be a good hangout, good vibe, and I can't wait. It's going to be this Saturday and this Sunday.
That's cool, man. Well, thanks for joining us today. Do you have any other closing remarks or anything like that? You want to shout anybody out? You got anything you're trying to plug, or I mean,
you know, you guys are doing your thing, man. You guys, I'm just happy to be, you know, on here with you guys. You guys are awesome. You know, Sweet Cards, dude, Houston Card Exchange. You know, just watching you guys and watching y'all's content grow, you know, and just how, you know, y'all's following starting to grow, man. And it's just cool to watch. You guys are really killing it right now, and I'm just happy you guys got me on here, man. Little old me.
Appreciate it, man. But to do a shameless plug, if you haven't gone to my Instagram page at Sweet Cards Dude and entered the drawing for the Patrick Mahomes number 211 PSA, I think it's a PSA 8.5 or something like that. It's not a 9 or a 10, but it's still a pretty sweet card, dude. Sorry, I had to do that. But yeah, just go check it out. Go enter the drawing. Just I think you have to like the post and then make sure you're following me and then tag 3 friends and you'll be entered. We already have like I think over 250 entries.
Oh wow!
And so it's I know quite a bit. It's going pretty fast. A lot of Chiefs fans out there that like Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah,
But yeah, go check it out. But thanks again for joining me today. This is Sweet Cards Dude, and we had the gracious presence of sorry, I just ruined that, but
yeah, man, I appreciate you having me, brother. This is awesome, man, and it's just cool to, you know, just talk cards, talk sports, and just know that, you know, we're a part of a community that's growing, and you know, you guys have an awesome following. You have an awesome group that likes what y'all are putting out, and just keep doing what y'all are doing, man.
Cool, man. Take it easy.
All right, brother. Y'all have a good one.